Good afternoon. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Join me for the afternoon news break. Good afternoon. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Today is Monday, September 26, 2022. This is your afternoon news break. Happy holiday, everyone. Happy day off. Puerto Rico. I want to wish you guys, send my prayers to those in Puerto Rico. I'll be honest with you. Yes, I am Puerto Rican. I'm sure you know that. But I have not been keeping, up to speed with what's been happening in Puerto Rico. I mean, it was only 5 years ago that Hurricane Maria came through and devastated the island. And if you don't, never been there, there's a lot of places in Puerto Rico where people have homes that are built, out of not much. You know what I mean? So they can get swept away really easy by winds and water. So, I want to send my prayers, and if there's anything I can do, anyone that's doing something maybe that's going to be donating or bringing supplies or whatever, I would love to know, because I don't know how to get that over there, but I'm more than willing to help. So maybe if Alberto Velasquez would like to, notify me next time that he's going to be handing out waters to people in Puerto Rico and doing this charity stuff to help those in need over there after the hurricane, then, let me know, because I would have helped. I would have contributed. But I didn't realize that you were doing so until you posted the pictures of it and you tagged me in it, calling me a bonchinchero. Now, if you don't know what that means gossiper. Considering this is a man that I sat with and had dinner at Zupta's, and all they did was gossip about people in Yonkers. All men. The good old boys at the Yonkers Boat Club. Or yacht club, however you want to call it. I never did get to go on that boat, guys. You were going to invite me. I doubt I'll be going now. But Alberto Velasquez is, no surprise, in Puerto Rico. And he was out there, handing out water, I guess. Or he bought cases of water. We don't even know if he handed them out, right? And so he thought it'd be a great idea to put a post of him doing so and then tag me in it. How tacky, how tasteless, right? If you're out there doing charity, where'd it go? And you're helping people, that should be your focal point. It should not be Freddie Vasquez, who's all the way. Look, he even got Yonkers voice Ruros to put it up also. It shouldn't be Freddie Vasquez, right? It should be what you're doing. And this is what both, so they don't even tell you how you can help or contribute. He doesn't say that. He doesn't give that information. What he does is he utilizes this to try and make me look bad. Alberto Velasquez, this is on the Yonkers Voice, in Puerto Rico, helping our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. Well, we don't want you, Ruros, as a brother and sister. We don't like pedophiles, okay? You're not our brother and definitely not sister. In this moment of need, actions, not words. I love this man's hashtag, is what really matters and counts. Where are the so-called Hispanic leaders, a.k.a. bonchincheros, who are always saying they love? See, so this is what I'm saying. Like, these individuals can continue to talk about me. That's why I mentioned Ruros. He doesn't stop, this guy. He comes up to my car. He does videos with Alberto Velasquez. And all I simply said, Alberto, was that your CSCA members are calling me, texting me, sending me messages, and stopping me in the street, literally, to tell me about you and complain and to thank me for bringing it up, because they want their retro checks. So why don't you answer that rather than try and answer me? Because you're not going to win there, buddy. You're not going to insult me. You can call me a bonchinchero all you want. And I think it's very sad and tacky that you, as a CSEA president, is choosing to conduct yourself in this manner, in this behavior. I do a podcast, right? I'm not the president of the largest union in the city of Yonkers. And I may add, they are not the highest paid individuals here in the city of Yonkers that work within the schools, right? So they should really have someone who's fighting for them and making sure that they get their retro check, especially when the contract has since expired. You're going on to negotiate another contract, and they've yet to get their retro check from the last one. I've been in unions before, in teacher unions before. When they agree to it, the retro checks come, even if they're broken down, but they still come. And so you're not doing your job. Everyone's saying you're MIA, and CSCA up in White Plains wanted to meet with you. And guess what? You were MIA for that meeting. So why are you upset with me for helping your members out when you are not doing that? You're in Puerto Rico, worrying about your real estate. And now you're using this to try and justify why you're out there? What about food? Did you get them any food? Any clothing? Flashlights? Just water? Did you pay for it? My man. And this is why, I mentioned these guys. And really the real important thing that I want you to understand is that this is part of this whole corruption, this whole web of corruption here in the city of Yonkers, right? It's part of it. Why is that? Because they need corrupt individuals in control of the unions, right? It's important when it comes to contracts and budgeting and all that stuff. And then it's important also for voting. Hold up the contracts hostage until the elections and make sure that we get people to endorse. And then we get the good contract, right? We'll give them a contract then. Largest union here in the city of Yonkers, that's a lot of voters. Remember, folks, how Albie dangled your retro check in front of you like a carrot for these coming elections. Remember that. And if he brings you into a room in an office or wherever, like they do, I hear over at DPW, and tell you who to vote for, don't vote for them. Okay? Vote for the other person, if there is one. Because I don't know what's up with the GOP. Folks, did you see that post I put up in regards to the GOP and Shanae Williams fundraiser? Why is it that Republicans, board members of the Republican Party, are hosting fundraisers for Democrats who are running for re-election? I take it you're not going to challenge Shanae Williams? Henry, are you a true Republican, or have you converted since, like John and Dave? Did you follow suit? Huh? Because it doesn't make sense. And true Republicans are angered by that. They see a party that's sold out, that no longer puts up a real fight, doesn't put any real viable candidates up to oppose the Democrats. And I'm a Democrat, but I'm just speaking from the outside, like a, sports announcer or whatever. Just be fair. And it's true. When was the last time you saw a real viable Republican candidate? Who? And will they put one up for mayor in this coming election? Probably not anyone that will actually win, because they make deals. Deal makers. Rue Rose is a plant. He ran when I wanted to do a story on my YMHA. He is a plant that came out of nowhere, fake news. Rue Rose is using this to make money. He needs money. Okay. He needs to pay his bills, and they pay him to do the. See, he says to me, Freddie, we're not, I don't care about politics, but that's not true, because he's been hounding Mike Cater for an interview, right? He talks crap about it, but he doesn't support the guy. But he's hounding him now for an interview, and it's politics, because that's a lie. That's a lie. The politicians pay him. They pay him for those interviews. It's all part of their way of creating a narrative for the folks to believe. And he's part of that because he never challenges anything. Not at all. Right? He did make mention of the Mike Cater lawsuit because he's looking for the interview. So he wants to gain some, anticipation and build that anticipation for that interview. And I hear that he's going to get the first interview, which I'm cool with. I'm 1000% cool with. And that goes to show that, listen, Caters are not behind me. I would have had that interview and I've been wanting it, but it's okay. Let him get it. Doesn't matter. It's not basement politics, right? It's not. So he's paid. He's a pedophile. I've showed you the paperwork. He pleaded down, had the documents sealed, the articles in the New York Times of his arrest. He should not be around children. Politicians should not be around him. But he's willing to do what they want. He does not challenge them. He makes them look good. And now he's going to be a part of this whole narrative that people in the city of Yonkers actually want terms eliminated. Is that true? I don't think so. That's not the, consensus I'm getting. But the Yonkers Times, are using the bogus rally and the fact that no one showed up because they knew it was bogus as a sign that people want terms eliminated. So he is part of the problem because that does create propaganda in which people then are led to believe things that are not true. The Yonkers Voice, yeah, right, yeah. And he almost got beat up on Elm Street. He got his camera smacked out of his hand off Yonkers Avenue. I mean, the guy has no respect. He puts up this family fighting. They had their personal domestic thing. The cops just should have been called, and that should not have been broadcast to all of Yonkers between these two individuals. That's not cool. That stuff is not cool. A lot of people just wear titles. They don't have a hand in making any noteworthy changes for the people they were tasked to represent. Shaking my head. Absolutely 1000%. I mean, and so those who say, Freddie, you're being nosy, or why are you doing this? Because the people need representation. There is no one out there truly fighting for the people. The last time someone did that, they ended up having an investigation launched against them, which is still ongoing. And they were, booted out of politics, right? So people want their jobs. People want to stay in politics. It doesn't matter. So I say it doesn't matter if they're black, Hispanic, white. They represent themselves, their own interests, their pocket. And the only color that they see is green. Right? Green. Just rhymed. Right? So that's why I do this. We need people to speak out and tell you what's actually happening and how does it impact you? Right? How does it impact? So we talk about the Ludlow rezoning plan. How does that impact you? Well, for one, they're using taxpayer money, $500,000, to pay for the studies. But why? Shouldn't the developers be doing that? They're the ones that are going to benefit. Everyone who owns property down there is going to benefit. The value is going to go up. If you own the property now, you're most likely going to sell it to a developer who's going to build it up. They're going to put parkland there, a park there, a waterfront park. It's going to be luxury residentials. So when Tasha Diaz votes no to increase the affordable housing ordinance, that means that she voted no against having more affordable apartments be built here in the city of Yonkers, even though she said she was for it all the way until it was time to actually be for it. And that's how she ran on affordable housing. So she tries to cover it up by showing you the food distribution thing that she does in Chicken Island. So she wants people to say, hey, look at what I do. And then people look at me like I'm the bad guy because I'm criticizing Tasha Diaz, who's out there giving food. But the reality is she's just standing there. The reality is she's looking for voters. That's what that's all about. Everyone that lines up there, is a potential voter. What is the percentage of the people that line up at the food distributions where Tasha's at that will vote for her in the re-election or vote in any which way she influences them? Probably high probability. They may not even have to come out. You know what they do? They get their name, their email address, phone number, and then they'll send up their team of ballot harvesters, and they'll go up to the Westchester Board of Elections, grab those people's ballots. Oh, look, so and so, Miss so and so, Miss so and so. Then they'll bring it to their house with a bag of that food that they got from Feeding Westchester. Praise them. Thank God for Feeding Westchester, okay? Not Tasha Diaz. And they bring this bag of food, and then they bring them their ballot, and they have them sign, and that's a vote for them. That's what they're doing. And the people do that because they feel like, well, I'm getting this food and they bringing it to me, but they're screwing them because down the line, those people are either going to have to pay more money in rent, which they already don't have. They're on fixed incomes, or they're going to get kicked out altogether because she is working with the luxury developers, the people that own that property where they line up, AMS, right? So you have to understand that part. It's not really a good thing she's doing for the people. And if she's up out of there, that food distribution is not going to stop. Imagine if you had someone who was in office and the food distribution was going on, and someone in office that actually wanted to bring more affordable housing, that wanted to bring more jobs to the people of Yonkers, that wanted to make the hiring process fair, and that focus on the schools, which is where we need to focus our efforts on, because that's how we improve the community economically. When the kids start to learn, get better quality education, they get better jobs, they do better as adults, they hopefully stay in the community, they buy homes, they pay the taxes, right? But when the school system sucks, you have a large percentage of people that don't do well. They remain impoverished, and areas remain the same until you get these billionaire developers that want to come in, buy it cheap, and then rent it high. So that's what people need to understand. Wake me up when it's over. Go back to bed then, silly dilly. See, and then I got people like this guy right here, right? So this is what they do. They create fake profiles. So this is how bad it is in the city of Yonkers, right? Elected officials and people that work with them do this. They create fake profiles like Concerned Yonkers Democrats. They create fake committees like the Committee for a Better Yonkers, which I'll be talking about tonight, right? In order to attack people, to attack anyone that opposes that oppressive system, because it is. Don't let them fool you by letting you guys paint BLM on the street, giving a few blacks and Hispanics here a little something so they can open up their little shops for now. Okay, because the bigger picture is what's more important, and that's what we need to focus on. So this is what they do, you know. I voted for Tasha because she gives back to her people. What does she give back to her people? What? It ain't the food, because that's by a man named Jeffrey Meyer and his congregation who donate. That's also Feeding Westchester. She doesn't have to be there. That's also not in her job description. What is in her job description is passing legislation to improve the situation we have here with affordable housing, to improve the quality of the schools, not only in terms of the infrastructure, but also in the education itself. But she's not doing that, and she is the majority leader as well as the chair of the education committee. Schools are falling apart. Action A. Williams, that's what she said. They are. Mold, lead, asbestos, buildings are over 100 years old in some cases. Yet they're building luxury developments in a city where $35,000 a year is what the average person makes. That's not enough to pay for a one-bedroom apartment in one of these luxury developments for the year. So what is Tasha doing? Please enlighten me. Besides just commenting nonsense with your fake pages. Okay? Tasha Diaz's minion, low information voters. The people act like the politicians are paying for the food donations. Exactly. They're not paying for it. They're not bringing it. They're not even freaking distributing it. She stands there and does little selfies. And she got busted in one of them because she goes up to a person that's with the food pantry that actually brings the food. And she says to that person, who works for the organization that actually brings the food, that, how you doing? My name is Tasha Diaz. I did this with the mayor. We made sure that this is happening. And then she just keeps walking away. And the lady said, well, we're the food pantry. We brought the food. And she goes, oh, yeah, yeah. And then she goes, oh, yeah. And people, without you, it wouldn't be happening. Without people like you. Switched it completely up. You was just saying it was you and the mayor. Now you're saying it's without people like them. She's fake. Fake. Okay? Fake. She loves the fame and attention that she gets with the Tasha Diaz brand, which is slowly diminishing, or maybe fastly diminishing, right? So you haven't done anything for the people at all. So that's what it's important to know. So don't let them do that with the food. That's going to be there no matter what. No matter what, that's going to be there. All right? I believe it. It's full of shit. Yeah. It is, because look at what's happening. The small businesses are closing. Hispanic and Black-owned businesses closing down, being forced out. What happened with Macy? I was over there at Macy today. A man was there, trying to figure out why he was removed from the list that he had been on for 10 years, this waiting list. That's because they're trying to get people out of Yonkers. Remember, when they redid Cottage, when they redid the chicken coop, those people had to get out. Where did they go? Did they come back? Remember the lottery they did at Macy for the waiting list? It wasn't even to get a voucher. It was to get a space on the waiting list, right? That's what the lottery was for. And so they reshuffled the waiting list, basically. So imagine you were on there 10 years. Now you're not on there anymore, just like that guy. And he speaks, his English wasn't the best, him now having to navigate all this stuff. And they don't care. They're behind the window. They don't care. They probably got that job because their cousin is so-and-so, or they're good friends with so-and-so. And they're just banking their money. And that's it. They don't care. So this is happening to a lot of Hispanics and poor, at people here, and working class people here in the city of Yonkers. And it's going to the east side. 21 Scarsdale Road, I hear, was recently purchased by Joe Cotter. It's an old Hudson Valley bank for $10 million. He wants to put apartments there, yet that area is not zoned for apartments. But this guy, he seems to have a knack for knowing when zoning laws are going to change. He buys the properties with intentions of doing things that cannot be done. How does he know they're going to change the zoning laws? The same with the Leak and Watts property he purchased. $55 million to build studios, but you can't do that. But they will change it, right? First, they're focusing on that one on Furbrook, the Lolo rezoning plan. So, that's important to understand what's happening here. They got individuals in the zoning board that are allowing these changes to happen now so they can build more and more luxury apartments, eventually pushing most of the people out of Yonkers who cannot afford to live here anymore, because it's not just the luxury apartments, but the other apartments around them, their rents will go up. And so it's going to be a huge problem. And I think that they're not focusing on schools because they're predicting, right, for the school district to shrink down a bit as people who can't afford to live in Yonkers move out. It's going to be a lot of families. Think about what they're building. Studio, 1 and 2 bedrooms. Not for families. So we have to read between the lines. We have to see what's coming. There's a lot of behind the scenes scam going on in this political process, like with the permits and so on. Oh, Carlos, 1000%, my brother. This is why I started Basement Politics. I've been trying to get my business up finally. 2 years. 2 years to try to get my business up, paying rent, all the equipment and things I bought, insurances. I even had employees, marketing stuff. I mean, I spent a lot of money here, and they were screwing me over at the building department. Meanwhile, you got certain individuals that get a permit like nothing. Some people don't even have to file for it. They just get a new C of O issued. Ain't that something? You got people with illegal apartments, and this is why I was talking about it. I'm not trying to be nosy and get people kicked out their house, because trust me, they're not going to get kicked out. okay? Because they've been there and they're going to stay there. The person that owns that building is paying somebody. He's greasing some palms, or she, because I know Seda Jarris owns some of those buildings on Mulberry Street. She's greasing palms for sure. From many sources, her husband is part of the pay to play scheme going on in the building department. So if you pay him $2,500 to $5,000, you'll have no problem getting your permits. If you don't, they're going to give you a hell of a time. They tried to shake me down. I didn't go for it. I don't play no games, and this is what I'm doing. So I hope you folks who call me nosy or whatever can understand why I do this. It's for you, the little guys, right? We're not connected. We're not getting favors. We're not running these, pay to play schemes. We're getting shitted on, basically. And why do you think they're allowing the square to get like the way it is? I mean, it's never been that bad, right? I grew up in Yonkers, even some of the worst times in the 80s and 90s, and it didn't even look that bad. But they want those people out because once AMS starts to develop Chicken Island with all those different luxury developments that they're going to put up there, they're going to start bringing in more type Starbucks type of businesses, Panera Breads, and no more liquor stores. It's wine and spirits. You know what I mean? So you got to get with the changes, or you're gonna have to get out. And what's sad is that individuals like the gentleman Alberto Velasquez, a Latino Hispanic, works with them to sell us out. Just like the 4 women on the city council. The city council president, she works at Macy, right? She works at Macy, right? And so also Tasha Diaz, she's really black, but she uses Diaz to appeal to Hispanics. You have Corazon, who's Dominican, Pineda, and you have Shanae Williams, who represents District 1, where all the developments are going on, where a lot of people on Warburton are getting pushed out by force. And then they're not even paying them their full money. They're giving them half up front, and they make payments on the rest. That's how they're making them do the deals. That's crazy. Who are these people? Where this money's coming from? All this money, right? And so we're getting kicked out. It's not. I'm not trying to make this like about race, but it's about you're on the Southwest side, Northwest side, blacks. A lot of black, folks live there. So predominantly black community. Trevor Park is going to be gone. Trust me. And they sold it. Ask Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, the city council president. I'm going to make sure that as long as I'm the city council president, that we're going to get that back because they sold it to them. Then they're going to develop it, right? This is the idea. And they're going to give it back to the people. Yeah, okay. Well, I like to see that happen. Why would they take it, buy it, spend money on it, and then give it back? They're doing that for them, for what they want to put there, for luxury buildings, for the waterfront casino even that they proposed over there at JFK Marina and the power plant. With 22 slip marina for yachts. That's what they're talking about. $300 a plate a banquet hall. Who's that for? They're already putting the gates ready to charge you. And 4 black women on the council, super majority, super Democratic majority, and they still did not pass a housing ordinance at all. They killed the one that was for the people, 20%. During a housing crisis, Westchester County already wrote a report about Yonkers. 50% of the people here in the city of Yonkers are living in a situation that they cannot afford. Basically, they're making it work somehow, but they really can't afford that rent. So they're probably doing side hustles. They're probably behind on their rent in the eviction process. Yet, and still, our majority leader, Tasha Diaz, killed the affordable housing ordinance. That would have been doing something for the people. That's what she needed to do, and she didn't do it. Why? Because the developers did not want it. Why? She did it anyway because they fund her. And when they want something, they get what they want, just like the flip-flop and hot potato thing they're doing with the Yonkers Fire Department or fire station over there on School Street. AMS wanted that land. They sent the building department in there to condemn the fire station. Like, I thought y'all worked together. Been like that forever. They never said nothing, but now AMS wanted it. And so now they're thinking about knocking the new one down to move it because AMS wants that now. So it's all about the developers. And that's what I'm talking about. Alberto, are the developers giving you that money to build your real estate empire while your members still wait for their retro check? Because he's out there, I hear, building a real estate empire. Here he's using blood money. Blood money. Well, folks, I did mention I got a source who called me up. This is a source that also notified me of where Zeta Jerris was located that day. So I found her. So it's a good source. They told me also about an individual, and this is allegations, allegedly an individual who worked for Macy was fired for exchanging money for sex with a minor, a 16-year-old. According to the source, there is a video, they caught it on video, of the individual going into the staircase with the 16-year-old. So I brought that out. I broke that news. And so no one has said that, it's not true, except for this person who was defending it. But listen to what they say. Let me read to you what they say. They say, you didn't even show that someone said there's a video, show something, you're supposed to be a journalist. Well, I don't have the video. That would be the building that it was in, a Macy building. And then check what they say. He was fired for helping a young troubled girl out with cash. Show something or your whole show is hearsay. So this person obviously doesn't like me. They're trying to defend the individual that I was speaking about. They must maybe know him because they even said that the person and his wife were no longer married. But notice how they didn't say it's not true. They said that he got fired. So he did get fired. He got fired for helping a young troubled girl out with money. I mean, I would never do that. If I saw a young girl who needed help in some kind of way, I'd figure out some way the way it wasn't me giving her money in a staircase. I'm just saying. Right? I might go to their parents. Hey, can I help you folks? Your family, maybe point them in the right direction. You work for housing. You can't reach out. The gentleman's wife works at the parks department. Maybe you can give her dad or family members a job. Start out seasonal. You know how that go. But to give her money in a way like that, I mean, I don't know. Again, I put it out there. These are allegations from a source. You let me know. Or not let me know, but you form your own opinion. No video, no proof. I don't got the video. The building video, it's like the video with Tasha Diaz, right? Where there was allegations that people super close to the situation contacted me and said it was true. I mean, they broke it down what happened to me. I can't imagine they were lying because it was just, you could just tell. You can just tell, right? And sometimes this is what happens when people have an axe to grind, right? Maybe they had an issue with these people. Now they see their way as getting revenge, and that's through basement politics, right? So again, no one's challenged me. This is the only challenge I got, and they're saying they are confirming that the guy was fired. They are confirming that there was a minor involved. They are confirming that money was given, but it wasn't for sex. That's the only thing that's a lie, right? Come on now. I mean, listen, hey, you're right, right? You're right. You're right. I mean, you can't even show your true identity, but you want us to believe you, right? That doesn't make sense. Come on, show who you are for real, and then maybe we can have a serious conversation. These sounds like good plans to me. Rebuilding a shithole into a great place to live. You hear this guy? A shithole. A shithole. What are you really saying, guy? What are you really saying? And I hear there's a lot of racists within the city of Yonkers. They hide it well. In fact, I was talking to someone yesterday who was telling me how racist a specific council member was, but he hides it well. Hides it well. Right? So this is probably one of those racist guys. It was a shithole. What do you mean by that? Right? It's a shithole. It's an expensive shithole. Huh? They want that shithole bad, don't they? Buying it up, spending a lot of money in that shithole, right? Must not be a shithole. Are you saying the people are shit? Just say it. Say it. Say it. You know, you guys cannot offend me with your words, your comments. I don't care. I don't even block them. I don't even, dictate who can comment and who can't comment. I don't care. I don't care, right? I'm not like the Junkie Tribune. Say what you want. But ultimately, the people are smart enough to know. The people already know. This isn't nothing new. It's just now being talked about. And the fact that they have so many fake profile pages coming at me. They have the Yonkers Voice, got Alberto. Look at this guy. He's in Puerto Rico, supposedly doing charity, helping the hurricane victims out. But he's got time to make a post about it and it be one where he's trying to attack me or come at me, trying to make me look bad, I should say. That's stupid. That's stupid, Alberto. Stupid. Okay? That was a bad move because you look faker even more than they say you are. If you're doing charity, don't show it. We don't need to see it. Just do it. And if you saying that I'm not doing nothing, why don't you reach out to me? If you really care about helping the people, you should have been reaching out to as many people as possible to get as much, supplies and food and water together so you could have brought it out there. But instead, you didn't. You tell me after the fact and you try to say that I'm not doing anything. I'm a fake community, whatever you said, bonchinchero. I don't broadcast everything I do, and I'm not going to engage you in this tit for tat when it comes to helping others. I think that's very pathetic, Alberto. But so far, I'm gathering that you are a pathetic man. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you come out tonight. I want to talk about that rezoning of the Ludlow area over there, the Ludlow rezoning plan. Let's talk about it. Right? Exactly. Since when do you need proof in Yonkers? Everyone gets played and framed for years. Stop hating on Basement Politics for giving it to us unfiltered. Thank you, Inside Politics. I appreciate you. Right? How am I going to make a difference in Puerto Rico? I can't make a difference in Puerto Rico. I got myself enough here trying to make a difference in Yonkers and help the Puerto Ricans that are here that are getting, crapped on over there on the southwest side and south side and northwest side, as well as the blacks, as well as the whites, as well as everyone that's being taken advantage of, that's being bullied, intimidated, who have had their businesses hurt, who've had their vouchers taken from them, who have been removed from the waiting list, who have been asking West Hab to come into their apartment and please fix the bubbling walls and mold that has been there forever. That's what I'm doing. So Alberto, thank you for what you're doing in Puerto Rico, for the water that you're delivering it. We all appreciate it. Hopefully, once you're done there, you can come back and get your members their retro check because they need it and they've been waiting. It's not fair that you get to go and build a real estate empire while people wait for their money. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Thank you, folks. I appreciate the supporters. Thank you for everyone that's been sharing, that's been talking about Basement Politics. Thank you for my sources. I don't make $1 doing this, not one penny. Today I had the day off. I'm celebrating with my people as a Sephardic Jew. Yes, I am. Although I was raised Catholic. But we learn things every day, right? We always learn something new. So I'm going to celebrate with my people. I just wish my people had a little bit more heart for the, people who don't have as much money. It's not all about money. Greed is bad. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a blessed rest of the day. Peace out. Thank you. Silly Dilly. I call that guy Silly Dilly. Where's Silly Dilly? This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I am Freddie Vasquez. Listen, We are more than willing to correct ourselves if we get it right. We're not here to attack people or just make baseless accusations. We are here to make change and inform the people, make light of what's been in the dark for so long. You can't knock it, but if you do, you're probably a part of the problem. And of course, you would be hating on the solution. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you, folks. And I appreciate to the woman that recognized me. I'm getting recognized like some Jay-Z type thing because I don't even like, you're that news guy. I'm the news guy. Yeah, I'm the news guy. Yeah. Oh, in the bodega, North Broadway. Shout out to you. Thank you for watching. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. I'm going to be on tonight. Make sure you watch. Thank you, Boring. Going back to bed. Yo, listen. This was boring, but he stayed commenting the entire time. Now he's going back to bed when it's over. Well, go ahead. I'm done. Good night. I'm Freddie Vasquez. See you later. You guys are really missing a lot of brain cells, man. You've never seen one like me, have you, right? It bothers you. It bothers you. I know. I've been around enough racists to know when they're bothered by an intelligent spit. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Peace out. Sticks and stones may break my bones.
I was raised. I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
They don't like the smart ones. Oh, that's a smart one.
You're watching Basement
That's why they keep us down with crappy
Freddie Vasquez.
education. They don't want us to get intelligent to know what the hell they're doing. Why do you think they put in Tasha Diaz?
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I want
because she don't understand a damn thing.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
She probably thought she was doing the right thing by voting no that day. She really did. Damn. I didn't think about that one.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement
She probably
Politics
thought
with my
she was doing the
husband,
right
Freddie
thing.
Vasquez.
Damn, Tasha, did you think you were doing the right thing? Come on the show. Let me know. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Silly Dilly. Thank you.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me.
That's right.
And I don't vote for a person that lied to me.
right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Freddie wins.
Let's get them, Yonkers. We up out of here. I'll see you tonight.
No!